Hello, my name is Sharif Luka and I'm a Solution Engineering Manager at Nakisa, a global leader in enterprise business solutions for organizational design and accounting and compliance. Nakisa delivers innovative, forward-thinking, and robust human resources and financial management solutions that advance your business strategies. The following presentation is part of a series of use case videos which we're putting together to highlight some of the key challenges in the HR domain and ways to address them. In today's use case, we will investigate the critical problems caused by poor data quality, the impact it has on organizations, and I will showcase how we can address the data quality challenges using Nakisa Hanelly's Insights module for data quality monitoring and analytics reporting. So what are the critical problems that are caused by poor data quality? Now, the following statistics are based on a research that was done in North America, but it's very much the same for other regions. Now, if you look at the first and second stat, around 44% of the respondents indicated that having poor quality data can result in extra time spent to reconcile data and extra costs for the business. This may seem like stating the obvious, but the costs can be really staggering. Now, a study by Experian indicated that 12% cost of the overall revenue just because of poor data quality. In addition, one of the biggest challenges with preparing data is that it's really time consuming. 80% of the overall analysis process is spent cleaning or preparing data. When you think about it, that is 80% of the time that could be spent in more strategic initiatives that bring value to the business. This is of course happening because data has increased in size and complexity in recent years and continues to do that over time. And data preparation became very demanding and cumbersome task that is typically left for the most technical employees. There are four main aspects where the quality of HR data can have an impact on organizations. First, what we refer to as garbage in, garbage out. We know that poor data can compromise the analysis of the current situation of the organization and consequently of any decision making on the changes that may affect the company. Regardless of how good the system is at modeling or processing data, if incorrect data is entered, incorrect data is returned. Second, attrition, rework, and wasted HR staff time. Also, decisions based on erroneous data can lead to affecting companies' profits and income. Third, collaborators and mainly leaders of the organizations lose confidence in the use of systems due to the outdated data and end up not using them at all. How many times did organizations invest in solutions that they ended up not using or ended up postponing the rollout due to the poor data quality? But we also have seen other examples of companies that have managed to regain trust after cleansing and improving their data quality. Last but not least, you may be breaching legal commitments or obligations with negative financial consequences. For example, in France, there is the gender index equality, where companies need to report annually what the actual gender index figures are. And failure to meet a specific score can result in penalties. I believe around 1% of the revenue of the company, which is a significant number. So it's also as a compliance topic. So data quality has a huge impact on organizations. So far we talked about the impacts of poor data quality, but what causes poor data quality in the first place? Well, we all know that HR data must be updated at regular intervals, and humans are prone to making errors, and even a small data set that includes data entered manually by humans is likely to contain mistakes. Data entry errors such as typos, data entered in the wrong field, missed entries, duplicated entries, conflicting or mismatched entries are all possible scenarios. Now, the HR data could be updated in multiple sources by multiple people, different locations, and everyone may be following their own process for updating the records. And these non-standard or decentralized processes could lead to a lot of inconsistencies in the data. Lastly, the lack of visibility or process to identify bad HR data could also lead to decrease in the quality of the HR data over time. Also, having the workforce data spread across different disparate systems that perform different functions prevents a single source of truth. There are severe consequences as data is often migrated downstream to other systems, thus compromising the data integrity of these systems as well. So now we're all familiar with the challenges, but how can we address these challenges? Well, the good news is HR technology can help. Nakisa Hanelly Insights for HR Data Quality provides a centralized visual interface to immediately identify inconsistencies in data maintenance. It all starts with the data quality index, which indicates the quality of the data. The lower the index, the lower the quality, and the higher the index, the higher the quality. But how is the index calculated? Well, the index is calculated based on business rules or validation rules. Now, these rules are categorized into two different groups. PA, standing for personal administration. This is for employee-related attributes, and OM, which stands for organizational management, for position or org unit-related attributes. Each rule is configured with a severity level, low, medium, and high, and a severity value is associated with the level. Each rule is then assigned a rule weight, calculated based on the severity level. And based on that, the data quality index is calculated. So what are the different types of business rules that we're talking about here? Now, these business rules, as I've mentioned before, are related to employees, positions, and org units or departments, depending on your ERP or the HRIS systems data model. These business rules or validations check for missing information, such as attributes or properties, such as missing gender, performance rating, potential rating, hire date, or positions without personal area, sub area, legal entity, business units, divisions, departments, etc. Or it could be based on relationships or associations to other objects. For example, employees without positions, org units without a parent org unit, which can lead to orphaned objects within the structures. It could also be inaccurately or wrongly maintained information. So, for example, a simple one is employee age is incorrect. Maybe an employee is maintained as 10 years old or 99 years old, which is very highly unlikely. It could be inconsistencies in your data, or it could be even validations that we run, but these rules are allowed in the ERP. For example, you can have shared positions that are supported in your ERP, but you don't support it in your own best practices. Org units with multiple managers, employees sitting in more than one positions. These are just a few of the examples of the business rules that you can validate and enable in the solution. I'd like to spend a few minutes to show you a live demonstration of Nakisa Hanelly Insights HR Data Quality. Okay, so I just logged in into the Nakisa Hanelly Insights platform, and I'm logging in as an HR business partner with global responsibility, and that's why I see the global picture of the organization in terms of total headcount, total salaries, and various types of information related to tenure, age, span of control. I can look at my DNI, I can look at my gender equality analysis, but as today's use case is about the data quality dashboard for the organization, I'm going to go ahead and explore it furthermore directly from the home page. Now on the left upper portion, you see three numbers here. The first one is the overall data quality index. Again, the higher the number, the higher the data quality, the lower the number, the lower the quality of the data. And this is calculated based on the personal administration data quality index, which tracks employee-related attributes, as well as the organizational management data quality index, which tracks position as well as org unit-related attributes, depending on your HR data model. On the right-hand side, you see various trends in my data quality. Again, this is important if you want to see if the data quality is increasing over time, is decreasing or stagnant. I can look at any kind of peaks in my error count if I wanted to. I can also track which companies as well as which countries that have the highest data quality related to both personal administration as well as organizational management. So let's go ahead and explore organizational management dashboard in more detail. And here I get to see again the number of business validation rules which were detected, and based on these rules we have detected 1,588 organizational management related errors. Out of these, 358 are high severity. High severity means it can have negative consequences on your organization, which means you need to address this right away. I can see the total number of positions with errors as well as the average errors per position. Let's have a closer look at these org management business validation rules that were detected. So you will see that some of them are positions without FTE, without jobs. You'll see unoccupied positions, which again, not necessarily an error, but something that you can enable as a business validation rule if you want to track your open vacancies and trigger certain action around it, whether it's succession planning action to promote from within, to look at internal talent mobility, or hire externals to address these open vacancies. But perhaps the one which could be high severity, and of course I know that they are high severity based on my filter panel, where I can drill down only on the high severity organizational management rules, and I can see here that positions without pay grades and positions without salary scale are considered to be high severity. So why is that? Now imagine if you're doing an organizational design and you're tracking budgets versus costs. Now the budget is calculated based on the salary scale of the position. Now if you don't have the salary scale of the position maintained, your budgets are off, the calculations are off. These numbers are often aggregated at the top level of the organization, so they will also be inaccurate, and that will compromise the integrity of your organizational design. It also, if I look at pay grade, it's also very important to maintain the pay grade of the positions. If you don't maintain it, it can also have negative consequences. Pay grade is a very good indication of the seniority level of the positions. For example, leadership positions will have a high pay grade. Now imagine if you don't have the pay grade maintained, then and you're tracking certain, let's take D&I KPIs as an example, diversity, equity, and inclusion. You're looking at the percentage of women in leadership positions or in management positions. You will get that number wrong because simply the definition of leadership or management is not giving you the right number because the pay grade is not maintained correctly. So again, this can have negative consequences for you and your organization. So it's important to address this. But how do we, now that we know we have 81 positions with errors, how do we know which positions are impacted? You can actually drill down directly from the dashboard to know which of these positions, so this is an 81 positions you can see on 5 pages here, that do not have a pay grade maintained. Let's have a closer look at any of these positions. Let's say senior advisor for quality. Well, I can see that this is 2 errors were detected for this position. First of all, it doesn't have a pay grade, it doesn't have a salary scale, and I get to see this in the information that is showing here. For example, under HR administration, I can see that there's no salary scale maintained. I get to see as well information about the incumbent of the position, as well as the position related attributes and associations with different objects such as legal entities, business units, divisions, departments, etc. And I can see here pay grade is missing as well. So how do we address this? First of all, I can go directly to the rule definition, and it will give me information about the description of the rule, the group it belongs to, the severity, as well as how to correct this error that you've just discovered. And of course, if you do have your data management system in place, we can link it directly from the Nakisa Hanelly Insights to simplify the process of correcting these errors. So this could be a link to, let's say, SuccessFactors Employee Central if this is your main ERP, or SAP HCM, or Workday transactional systems where you can actually correct these errors directly. Okay. With that said, let's have a closer look at the personal administration dashboard. And here I again see the same information as I've explained before. You'll see the different rules that were detected based on employee-related attributes, employee missing FTE, employee without performance potential rating. Again, very important. If you're tracking talent retention during an organizational design, you want to look at your top performers. And for example, employees without salaries, this will have an impact on the cost of your organization. So it's important to track this. But I want to talk a little bit about the simplicity of Nakisa Hanelly Insights and the configurability of it, and how you can define your own dashboard in case you're looking for dashboards that are not available or not pre-configured. You can actually do that very easily. So as I mentioned, I'm logging in with the capacity of as an HR business partner with global access to the entire organization. So let's say I want to track let's say errors in my system, but I want to track it per country, and I don't want to only look at the employee map. I want to have a dashboard that looks like this one, where I can see for every division or for every department, but I want to do that by country. So you can actually go ahead and create your own chart. And then this is the flexibility this platform offers. You don't need to contact your administrator. As a user, you can go ahead and define the type of chart that you want. So let's say we want to take a bar chart. So I can select that, and I can say I want to look at my country, and I want to look at my error distribution by country, and I can select my data set. I can start selecting the different types of fields that I want to track in my dashboard. This is going to be a stack chart, and the field that I'm interested in is indeed the severity. So I'm going to go ahead and just add severity here as one of the fields that I want to stack on top of the countries. I can select the operation. In this example, the operation is actually severity, and I will track the error count by severity for every country. So I can select the count as an operation, and immediately I can see here a preview of how that would look like. So I can see the red means high severity, green means medium severity, blue means low severity, and I can go ahead and save that, and I can go to view this in my dashboard based on what I've just added. Very, very powerful feature, because now I've added on the fly a dashboard based on country showing me the total number of errors by severity for each of my countries. And as I mentioned before, I can then use the filter panel to slice and dice the data, turn all the data that I have into information, information into insights, and insights into action. So for example, I can look at a specific department, and immediately the graphs will on the fly dynamically change based on the criteria that I've selected here. So I can see that there's manufacturing in UAE, US, Germany, and the UK. There is no medium severity, there's only high and low. And that concludes the demo of the Nakisa Hanelly Insights platform HR data quality. This concludes the presentation. I hope you found this session informative. Please don't hesitate to contact us should you have any questions or would like to learn more about our Nakisa HR product suite. Thank you.